Hello, boys and girls. This is Legacy School, and this is your weekly grammar lesson, week 16. Welcome to the new lesson of today. We've been learning more about modal verbs, and the last time we had a lesson about modal verbs plus continuous form. Like you should be working, she must be like learning, they should be writing. Okay. Today we have modal verbs in the past: could, should, may, might, have, plus verb past participle. And also we have ought to have. Okay. For today's lesson, you only need to have your copybook and your pencil, and of course your sharpener, just in case. Okay, here we go. Modals in the past. Have a look at this rule. Modals refer to action that happened in the past. We have a modal verb, and then you have, and then a verb in a past participle form. What do we mean by past participle form? We mean the third verb conjugation. Okay, it must have been a difficult decision. All right. They should have invited her to the wedding. Let's have a look at the different ways you can express modal verbs plus verb past participle. Have a look at this big table. You have the model, the concept, and an example. The concept is just an explanation of the function. Would have, it's a past areal action. I would have bought the car, but I didn't have money. This is a real action in the past. Could have. Similar to it, it is past areal ability, but we have can, could, right? It's an ability. You should have taken the flight. Okay. May and have, like may have. For past areal possibilities or probabilities, like we may have passed the test, but it was in French. It was possible for us to pass it. Might, for unreal small probability. Probability is possibility, actually. You might have sold the house if you really needed the money. All right. It was possible to sell the house. Should have. This is should for recommendations and advices, of course. Past a real recommendation. You should have listened to the doctor. You should have listened to my advice, let's say. Must have. Past a real assumption, when you assume that something is to be done or must be done, like you must have been crazy. Like just I assume apparently that you were crazy. Okay. If you have a quick look at this, you would find the connection between the model and the function. Would and could, both of them for a real situations, but could because it comes from the root can, then it is ability. May and might together, they express one function, possibilities, right? Okay. Should is advise, that's it, but it's a past and real recommendation or advised. And must is an assumption. All right, let's have a look at this. Also see, could have, might have, and then verb past participle. Look at this example for a better understanding of how to form could have and might have with a verb past participle. I could have moved out when I was 18, but I didn't want to leave my family. I chose to stay. 2 brackets. That means I chose to stay. I could have, like I had the ability, but I preferred to stay with my family. I might have moved out but I didn't want to leave my family. I chose to stay. It was possible for me to move, but I didn't. I could have gone out with my friends, but I wanted to watch the soccer game. I could, which is I can in the present, and I could in the past. At that time I could, but I didn't want to go. I might have gone out with my friends, but I wanted to watch soccer game. Okay, in both sentences, either action was possible for me, but I stayed at home to watch the game. I may be watching the game at the moment while my friends are out. Okay. Have a look at should have and ought to have. Should have. For something in the past that we didn't do, but we were supposed to do. Like we didn't do, but we were supposed to do. Like it was a mistake that we didn't do. All right? That's it. Like when you give me an advice, there is probably something wrong, right? So something that I was supposed to do, but I didn't. That's it. Have a look at this. You should have checked your answers thoroughly before you handed in your exam. But actually you didn't, which was a mistake. You didn't check your answers. That's it. You should have checked your answers. Like you should have checked your emails before moving to school. We might, you might have, or they might have called the day off. Okay. You ought to have checked. The same but stronger than should. So ought to, similar to should, and a bit stronger. In situations where you want to emphasize on something, you can say should, you can say ought to instead of should. Okay. Would have. Would have plus verb past participle. This is a clause. And we usually, when it comes to conditional clauses, we have if clause and a result clause. Would have is a result clause. So a result clause is a result based on certain condition. So this result will happen or would happen if a certain condition was achieved. Here we go. Would have plus verb past participle is similar to could have and might have, but would have is more about something we chose to do or not to do in the past because a certain necessity was not met. So a certain condition was not met or fulfilled. Something was missing and that we chose to do. Like, for instance, like I would have stayed here. I would have stayed here if I had known that you were around. Okay. This is if to, of course, or if clauses. And we have the homework. I want you guys write example sentences on your copybook using could have, should have, may have, might have, and ought to have. Okay. For could have, there will be another lesson explaining conditional clauses in which we're going to learn more about if one, if two, and if three. Okay, you don't worry about this, but I need just example sentences based on the functions we've learned today about the modals plus have past participle. Write down your sentences in a clear, meaningful handwriting, and a clear handwriting and meaningful sentences, and send it as soon as possible. Thank you, guys.